They don't always have glass to recycle, so there are times when it's quiet and clean here. But when they do run, they usually start operating at 8 p.m. and end around 8 a.m., effectively enacting a curfew in our development. This is not some minor nuisance. The smell is so dense and foul that you cannot be outside. We have to plan our family gatherings around when we think it might smell and when we think it might not. They usually don't run during home varsity football games and holidays, so those are usually our best bet. However, this year, not even holidays were safe. This year they ran every night of 4th of July weekend, including the 4th. Our neighborhood smelled like garbage and feces on the 4th of July. We were having a picnic and everyone had to leave. Our friends and family have been pretending not to smell it to make us feel better, but the smell was so awful that night that there was no pretending. Everyone left and the party was over. Some of my best memories as a kid were those late summer nights playing flashlight tag, hide and seek, and catching fireflies. Because of Cap Glass, my daughters are now growing up in a world where that is not even possible. Cap Glass has decided that they don't get to have those memories. After 8 p.m., Cap Glass has decided we don't have the right to fresh air. After 8 p.m., Cap Glass has decided we don't have the right to be outside. After 8 p.m., Cap Glass has decided that our air belongs to them. As a father, mother, uncle, aunt, how would this make you feel? What would you be doing if you were us? You're probably thinking to yourself, why don't you just move? If that's a solution to the problem we're facing today, then the borough of Northampton will be a ghost town in 10 years. My children don't want to move. Our friends, family, and routines are here. They burst into tears when we talk about it. They said, we don't need to move, Daddy. We just need to call the police, and they'll help us. Well, we've learned that it's not as simple as a phone call, and now we desperately need your help. Teachers, coaches, police officers, firefighters, this is the backbone of the borough begging you for help. And make no mistake about it, this is not just a neighborhood problem, this is a Northampton problem. Most of the people here are from neighboring developments because we're close enough to know what's going on over there and we've had enough, but this affects everybody in this room. Just this Tuesday night, as we were leaving swim practice at the middle school, we, along with 5 or 6 other people that we spoke to, smelled it on the middle school campus just as youth night at the girls' soccer game was beginning. And visiting people from other school districts have noticed as well. As we have begun to figure out what's going on over there, this is becoming more public and is sadly beginning to define our borough. In addition to the high school and middle school campus, I've also smelled it on the NAA softball fields, several playgrounds, and bus stops in the morning. Someone I spoke to just last night also smelled it at the Wells Fargo on Main Street. The Wells Fargo on Main Street, and could smell it the entire ride home. I personally smelled it as far east as Savage Road. So if you think about that area, that is a huge area containing secondary and elementary schools, churches, daycares, athletic fields, swimming pools, businesses, libraries, the rec center, the police station, the fire station, your municipal buildings, and almost too many homes to count. You're probably thinking to yourself, how could this be so bad? Why are more people complaining? Why is this just bubbling up now? Well, there are several answers to those questions. First, people are complaining. This morning I shared with the borough an extract of complaints that were submitted to DEP. The complaint log only dates back to 2015, which I know for a fact goes back further, but it is 136 pages long. Not 136 violations, 136 pages of complaints. I also provided the borough record of 17 separate violations that they've received since 2016. There would be many more of these if the members of this community were talking and more organized in the past. We are now. I was told that these complaints and violations have not been provided to the borough in the past, so even though you're just being looped in now, you now know that this has been a consistent issue for a long time, and they have been a public nuisance for a long time. Second, people are embarrassed and have not been talking to each other. That ends today. Our story is out there now. We are talking, we are organized, and we are fed up. People are rightfully worried about their property values, so we've all been quietly filing complaints with DEP, praying for a resolution that just won't come. This is clearly not the path to resolution, so now this is a public issue. Third, many people, even those I've spoken to this week, didn't know what the smell was or what to do. That also ends now. We know what cap glass smells like, and we will be calling DEP and the borough every time we smell it. The fourth reason why you may not have heard more noise on this is that many have just given up. For a period of time in 2017, there were around 135 calls per month coming to DEP complaining about cap glass. Cap glass was fined multiple times and just continued operating as if nothing happened. People call DEP expecting immediate results, don't get them, and then either give up or they move. Is that really what we want the borough to become? a smelly, transient, lifeless town with no consistency or culture? Because that's the path we're headed down if we don't afford our citizens the basic right of fresh air. Pretty simple. Cap Glass has been issued dozens of violations and fines over the year, but they don't change anything. This September alone, they have received 4 malodor violations and 1 dust violation. It has not slowed down their operations at all. They continue to run nightly. They will not run and cannot run without making the community smell like dense, sour, rotten, feces-laden garbage. They know they are doing this, as evidenced by the fact that they run the evening to avoid detection. Cap Glass is raining particulate matter all over our borough at night, and then our youth sports teams, children and pets, are rolling around in it the next day. It's not some occasional accidental thing. They know it smells, and they know there's particulate matter leaving their facility every time they run. So, what are we talking about today? Cap Glass's permit is expiring soon. They are applying to relocate their equipment and continue operating on the other side of Hockey Creek, which is even closer to the neighboring developments. Even more homes will be impacted if they are approved to do this. Based on my 13 years of smell and sound observations, I don't believe it's even possible for Cap Glass to operate without spewing smells and particulate matter all over our community. They will make promises and say whatever they need to say to get their application approved, and then they will just continue operating as they always have. With all this in mind, we cannot approve their proposal to stay in the borough. What a colossal failure it would be to protect the citizens of Northampton if we approve their application after everything they've put us through. I'm genuinely worried about the message this will send to the community and what their continued presence will do to the town of Northampton. Who would want to live here? The borough has asked us to demonstrate that Cap Glass is a public nuisance. We have clearly done that. Cap Glass has also clearly demonstrated that they will not and cannot change anything about their operation to become compliant with basic air quality regulations. We are begging for your help and praying that Cap Glass's proposal to remain operating the borough is denied and their operations are shut down immediately. Our schools, students, faculty, churches, athletic fields, and thousands of homes need them gone. As I said earlier, and just like everyone else who lives and works and goes to school in the borough, we assumed when we moved here that there would be strict regulations and fast action in place to protect us in case of any issues. We were wrong, but with your help, we can change that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Name for the record, please.
My name is Sarah Alp.
Sarah, what, please, last name?
Alp, A-L-P.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, council members and fellow residents. My name is Sarah Alp, and I live on Coventry Court here in Northampton, Pennsylvania. And I'm here tonight to raise a serious and ongoing concern, the strong odors coming from Cap Glass. I moved to this community 2.5 years ago, and I had no idea that my new neighborhood would smell like constant garbage and manure. Had I known, I'm not sure I would have purchased my home. There is rarely a day that goes without these odors, whether early morning, evening, or nightfall. It's difficult to understand how more people aren't outraged, but perhaps many have just simply given up. From what I've learned, this problem has persisted for years, possibly decades. These odors are more than just an inconvenience. They invade our homes, parks, and streets, limiting our ability to enjoy our outdoor spaces, keep our windows open, and feel comfortable in our community. Many of my neighbors have also voiced concern about potential health effects. I want to be clear, we respect the role of local businesses, but no business should compromise the health, comfort, and quality of life of the surrounding community. I respectfully urge the council to investigate whether Cap Glass is in compliance with environmental and public health standards and to hold the company accountable for implementing effective solutions to reduce or eliminate these odors. Northampton residents deserve better. We deserve clean air, a safe place to live, and basic dignity of being able to enjoy our homes and neighborhoods without this constant burden. Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Mary Kay Regal. I live in Coventry Court,
Mary, spell your last name, please.
Riegel.
And you live in Coventry Court also?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
We're there about 35 years, 36, a long time. I've worked with children my whole life in Allentown. I always came to Northampton where I live because I always felt safe here. I always felt at ease here. It was quiet, a wonderful place to live and raise a family. I worked with children my whole life. I was a probation officer in Allentown. I've been involved in many of the city aspects, which I was always thankful to come here, back home, and just kind of be a safe place, a nice neighborhood. I work with children, and I just want to bring up the fact that, and I just retired, I was there 38 years, I just retired, and everyone talks about our children and how we need to invest in our children in our societies and how important they are to our future. Well, you know, I really think we need to think very hard about this. This smell is near the schools, the elementary, the high school, the middle school, the baseball fields, even Sacred Heart Nursing Home where our elderly live, as well as neighborhoods and communities and other places where our young children are on a daily basis. To me, my whole life, I worked for children, and that's why I'm here, because we need to take seriously and invest in our young adults in Northampton. They are our future in our community. Thank you.
My name's Tom Sedor. I live on Buckingham Drive since before the plant was even, the whole thing was just being built down there. We've been fighting this for 30-some years to no avail whatsoever. This has been filled so many times. I admire you for trying it, but it's a new council and a new mayor, so hopefully a little bit, and a little different situation. But we had attorneys in here that volunteered to help your solicitor write different ordinances from two major environmental organizations, proved futile. We had a lot of people in here for when the power plant wanted to raise their lead levels. And the DEP, they talked to us and no avail. The state, or MACO, no results there. They talk nice, they help you. But just to bring us up to speed, what's going on back there yet, you probably don't know this, but there's a company that's LLCs right now that owns it. And then they have another organization running it. But about 2 years ago, they all of a sudden said, oh, we don't have to pay taxes anymore. Probably hardly any of us know that. They came in, appealed, cost the county all kind of money with our solicitor investigating to no avail. So here, they found out, they opened up a can of worms. But somebody, I don't know who's dropping the ball in the county, but somebody's not checking back there. They're just running unbridled. Here they did $2 million worth of improvements. Never got a permit. The borough's losing money. The county's losing money. And most of all, the school district's losing money. And $2 million they had to raise there. So they're not good neighbors. Nobody back there is good neighbors. I thought this would improve when the building burned back there, and most of it would get moved, but I guess just the plastic got moved. I don't know what they moved, but they just last week opened up a new recycling center up in the Slateville area, and I thought they'd take that along. Hopefully they do under these situations. But hopefully you're a little bit more thoughtful. You'll have a little bit more finesse. The mayor insulted people here. The last administration. So hopefully you people don't continue like the old school.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Moving on to opening of bids for refuse collection and disposal.
We have received multiple sealed bids to provide refuse collection and disposal for the Borough of Northampton. The bids will be opened at this time. It is recommended to turn all of the information over to the solicitor for review. The bid will be awarded at a future council meeting.
What is this council's motion? To open the bids, right? You don't need a motion? No, you don't need a motion?
All right.
Okay.
The first bid is from Whitetail Disposal. I do kind of plan on. So, everyone has a bid spec sheet in front of you at your desk. At your seat, I should say. That's not going to work.
I'll share.
Thanks.
I'll give it to you.
Okay, so, for Whitetail Disposal, they provided a 5-year and 3-year term at bid price for 5 years at curbside garbage collection would be $5,008,823.40. That's for garbage.
Repeat that again.
$5,008,823.40. For the 5 years for recycling collection, it would be $3,516,287.59. $3,516,287.59. That is, okay.
5-year.
Speaking of collection, this is without carts.
Okay.
So that is with the toters part of it. They also provided a 5-year bid without toters. That total for garbage collection would be $4,834,404.98. Again, $4,834,404.98.
And that's without totals.
That is without toters. The recycling without toters would be $2,951,948.01. So that is $2,951,948.01. They also provided 3-year bids. The first one will be with toters, the second one will be without toters. So for the 3-year bid for garbage with toters is $3,163,534.14. $3,163,534.14. For the recycling with toters, it would be $2,215,091.88. $2,215,091.88. 3 years without toters will be $2,857,505.40. So $2,857,505.40. Recycling without the toters is $1,912,429.18. So $1,912,429.18. All right, and they also did for the bid bond or bid security, which is 10%. $852,512.
So, is that not broken down by year then?
It's not broken down by
Okay,
year.
just
It's
make
just
sure
total.
the way that was written down on our sheet here.
Yes, we weren't sure, so we left the total in by year.
Yep.
So that is the bid from White Tech. All right, the next is for public services. Okay, now, Republic did break it down by year. Okay, I will give you the total as well. They did a 5 and a 3 year as well, and theirs are with toters, correct? Yes. Okay. So theirs for garbage collection for 5 years is $6,007,632. So $6,007,032 is the total for garbage. And I'm gonna break that down by year as well, to kind of show you, because the values are different per year. For 2026, it would be $1,048,560. For 2027, it would be $1,100,864.64. 2028, it would be $1,156,129.92. 2029, it would be $1,271,594.88. And for 2030, it would be $1,430,482.56. That is just for garbage. For the recycling collection, it would be a total of $2,317,687.68. $2,317,687.68. 2026, $419,424. 2027, $440,641.92. 2028, $462,353.28. 2029 is $485,544.96. And then 2030 would be $509,723.52. That's the 5 year. The 3 year total for garbage is $3,303,554.56. So total for garbage for the 3 years is $3,305,554.56. 2026 for that is $1,048,560. 2027 is $1,100,864.64. And 2028 is $1,156,129.92. For recycling, the total for the 3 year is $1,322,419.20. 2026 is $419,424. 2027 is $440,641.92. 2028 is $462,353.28.
Can you please repeat the 3-year total for the recycling?
Yeah.
Would you mind? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. $1,322,419.20.
Thank you.
Bid bond is 10% of the proposed amount. Yeah. Just be 10% of the amount chosen. And that is both bids. Okay.
Can I ask, is it proper to ask a question?
Pardon?
Is it proper to ask a question? I would to sell a white.
Go ahead.
Thank you. There were multiple options. There was an option for the trash collection as it is without carts, and a option for with carts. Were those prices for Republic as it is now without carts or with carts?
With cards.
With carts. Thank you very much.
Stephanie, we're gonna put these back in the originals and then pass them on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll get them.
We'll put them back here.
Yeah, thank you.
That is everything.
We're ready?
Yep.
Thank you. Consider preliminary and final plan approval of Smith Lane LLC.
On July 9th and September 10th, 2025, those are the 2 dates of Planning Commission meetings, Smith Lane LLC appeared before the Planning Commission for preliminary and final approval to develop 799 Smith Lane into a 350,400 square foot warehouse facility. This request was approved by Planning Commission.
I need a motion for this approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the planning commission's recommendations.
Thank you, Ms. Holloman. I need a second.
Second.
Mr. Glassick, any questions?
Yes, this question is just strictly, this is for a warehouse clearance or authorization.
Correct.
Okay, nothing else.
Nothing else.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to reports from committees, administration and finance. Mr. Hall.
Thank you. There were 133 live stream views of the September 18th council meeting. The borough was in receipt of the second surplus claim fund check for 2024. The check was in the amount of $42,542.58. And the Atlas Museum received a check for $2,000 for Boise Unicum. And the check was for $2,500 from Heidelberg Materials. Thank you for both companies for the generous donations and report.
Thank you. Building, Land and Recreation, Ms. Haldeman.
Thank you. There's no movie in the park this Friday. The next movie will be Wicked on Friday, October 10th, 2025. The 76th Annual Jack Frost Parade will be held on Thursday, October 16th, starting at 7 p.m. Rain date Thursday, October 23rd. End of report.
Thank you. Code and Police, Mr. Stone.
Yes, thank you. We received the September code report. There's 33 total violations, 15 of which are now closed. End of report.
Thank you. Fire and Health, Ms. Almond.
Thank you. The Northampton Fire Department will be hosting their October breakfast on Sunday, October 12th, from 8 to 11 a.m. The fire department's yearly open house will be held next Wednesday, October 8th, from 5 to 8 p.m. End of report.
Thank you. Community Center, Mr. Donahue.
Thank you. Community Center meeting was held on Tuesday, September 16th. The Community Center is switching to a toast for their POS system. This should be going into effect in the next couple of weeks. End of report.
Thank you. Public Works and Sewer, Mr. Glassick.
Thank you. The 329 stormwater project will be completed in the next few weeks. The decorative light poles on Main Street between 329 and 19th Street had their light bulbs changed over to LED recently. The milling has started on the intersections of 4th and Main, 14th and Main, and Main and Laubach. This should be completed also in the next few days. End of report.
Thank you. Reports from council members, starting with Ms. Hall.
Don't have much. Do we have a closer than just the next couple of days for 329?
For
I mean, they haven't done nothing in a while. I know they worked the other Sunday night, and now they're to a
yeah,
point.
it's just been regulations with the state. So
So they're waiting
they're
on-
going to be out there on Saturday for concrete,
Okay.
and then they'll be working on it next week for hopefully asphalt, because state asphalt has to be completed by October 15th.
Gotcha. And any word on Main Street north of 329?
That's not
No,
something.
not,
Not till,
not, I mean, they're starting preliminary this month, but their paving won't start till April, I believe.
okay. Other than that, the bridge is going along. I believe they're pouring again tomorrow, some more decking. So keep an eye on that. That's good to see something at least that you can see. Other than that, end of report.
Thank you. Mr. Stone.
Yes, thank you. I'm not going to belabor the street paving. I know you guys are working on it. 414 McKeeper, light post. Do we have an update on that? I mean, it's still, every once in a while we get lucky and it works, but I just want to also thank Bruce Unichen and Heidelberg Materials for their donation to the Atlas Museum. I just want to say real quick, I mean, our hearts honestly go out to those that live in the area and the odor. You know, we can't make any promises, but you know, it's a tough situation. And so again, the end of report.
Thank you. Ms. Haldeman.
I too wanted to just say thank you for those checks from both those organizations. I'm not even gonna try to say.
Bruce Unichen.
Yeah, there you go. And Heidelberg Materials. I also just wanted to quickly say I got some feedback from some businesses on Main Street loving the streetlights already, feeling that they are brighter, cleaner, make them feel
Good.
safer. These are, like I said, the businesses right there on Main. So obviously that's an improvement for some. Hopefully everyone will feel that way. And that is all I have this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Goodall.
So thank you for your concerns with the order problems. I lived down in the borough all my life. I sure came a long way, and there's a lot of stuff that's, our hands are tied with. DEP should be regulating this industry more better than what they are.
And that's where we need your help, is communicating with DEP, and also in their application to return in the spring. DEP has nothing to do with that, the borough does.
You can make ordinances, like I said, I can get an attorney here to help you.
Okay, please, you've had your turn to speak.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Goodall.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Glassick.
Likewise, I live in the borough, I live in the 3rd Ward. The odor, surprisingly, does not come down to where I live off of 10th Street, but I know I've had several people talk to me about it, and I sent several Public Works to go up there and check it. I know it seems like it is at the time of the day or the night when the odors are stronger at night and not during the day.
They run it.
because, exactly. So there are things that now have come to light, and it did not fall on deaf ears. I just promise you that. I mean, I'm not a person that just is gonna look at you and say, we're gonna look at this and not do anything about it. We will look at it. We've had issues from the tri-borough that got rectified and things like that, so I appreciate everybody that stepped forward and takes pride in our borough to move this forward. It's not easy to get up there and talk in front of your neighbors and stuff like that, but it's also hard to live in these kind of situations. So all I can say is there is progress that we're looking at already. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Donahue.
I have absolutely nothing tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Lyman.
Oh, you know what? I do have one more thing.
Yes, sir.
With these trash bids and stuff like that, I would like to make sure that the committee that we talked about getting together to talk, myself, I will volunteer to be on that committee for pricing of the trash. Mr. Donahue has already said to me he would sit on the borough, and I'll take another volunteer. We can't have a committee, or we can't have a quorum, but we can definitely need one more. Is that you, Ms. Haldeman? Thank you. So would you put that down, that we could get together and talk about this? How does it come down to breakdown, that we can present it, how much it is going to be per resident, so that it's in labor's terms, not technical terms, and these year numbers, so that we know how much our trash will go up. Thank you.
Ms. Lyman?
No report.
No report? I'd like to say, I'm sorry, I am, for what you're going through. As a retired state worker, keep hammering DEP. Go to that governor's hotline, continually make complaints. Your state reps, every time that governor's hotline gets a call, it's recorded, it's sent back out into the field, and somebody from the local office has to respond within a certain amount of time. You've got to do that. Okay, wait, okay.
Zach Mako for 2 months. I have not talked to him yet.
Who?
Zach Mako.
It doesn't matter. The governor's hotline oversees the DEP, okay? Keep in mind the politics there, okay? You continually call every day if you have to. Give them your name, okay? These calls do get a response. As Mr. Glassick said, we've had other issues that are similar. I'm a big fan of a roundtable discussion where we can get together as officials with 2 or 3 representatives from you. You represent your little group, your big group, okay? And see how we can play on the same team. But I'm telling you, if you continually call, they're gonna get sick of you. And they're gonna find out what's going on, okay? So I'm hoping that Mr. Welsco can get something together with possibly a committee with you, Mr. Glassick, Mr. Stone, that live there, and the mayor. And of course, I would be part of that. We gotta try, just like Mr. Cedar said, we've been here before, and it's tough, but we can try. And then if whatever happens, at least we gave it our best shot, right? So, Mr. Welsco, Mr. Sorensen, so try to get something together with you in the near future. I appreciate all of you that took your time to come. Do you have something else you wanted to say? Ms. Sharkese, right? No?
This has been like years and years of calling, rallying the neighbors, calling. We're just exhausted.
Exactly.
And we're asking for help. I don't want to leave.
But state, do you understand that? It is the state.
Okay.
Mr. Cedar?
You know, I've heard that same story for 30-some years.
Yeah.
Okay, you're wrong.
Okay.
I have brought attorneys up here. They can write from Philadelphia, from two environmental organizations. They would help you write ordinances to eliminate that stuff. You know, it's
okay.
Well, if you don't,
Well, that's why we,
I'm a liar, you know, I'm a liar.
exactly. sir, that's exactly why I said we're gonna have a roundtable discussion.
I work for the state too.
Yeah,
I
me
know
too.
all about the state. My son works for the state.
Exactly,
I know all about it.
I know who you are. I do know who you are, Mr.
Yeah,
Seaver.
and you know, it's not only this board's bad. The reason I know this, I'm on the revenue board,
Exactly.
and it's terrible with our school board too. Not checking
Okay.
any assessments and stuff like that.
Okay,
These
thank
are
you, sir.
losing so much money, it's unbelievable.
Thank you, sir. Have a seat, please.
Can I ask one question?
Let us finish our
Oh,
board here.
okay.
Thank you. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Sharkese and your neighbors, first of all, a very well-delivered address, I must say. After talking today, I started to put a letter together to DEP to invite Grace into town to talk about what we can do to get some transparency on what a real timeline looks like. We don't need lip service. We need to sit down with DEP and get an actual timeline of what we can do and what it requires to make this happen. Okay? I can empathize with your situation. As you know, I live down by the former Rite Aid, and I can smell it down there on occasion. So for all the good things we have going in Northampton, it's a shame this clouds over everything. So obviously you have council's support, and of course you know you have mine. We already talked about getting together, et cetera, and whatever I can do from the mayor's office, we'll do that. But still, it's gonna have to be done. It is. It's a quality of life issue, and I don't think.
Everyone that lives and works in this town.
Absolutely. That hasn't gone, we're not tone deaf to that in any manner, okay? All right, that said, secondly, I'd like to get an update on the police contract. What do we have going there with the request from the police to move to 12 hours?
A draft was prepared
Okay.
and comments are being circulated so that the draft can be updated.
Okay.
Can we get that on the next agenda?
Okay, and now for some little more uplifting news. As you know, we received a very generous grant from Senator Miller for what would have been a trailhead building up near the gazebo. Okay, my intention for that, and it's still one of my initiatives, was to have that done with grants and public money, excuse me, private money only, okay? I still have that in mind, but after 2 nice meetings with Building, Land, and Recreation, headed by Councilwoman Haldeman here, the greater need for that money is to redo the trail itself. Of the 164 miles of the DNL Trail, Northampton has one of the only sections that's paved. And I'm a frequent bike rider. If you know where my shop is, all I do is sit on my bike, push off, and I just glide right down to the park where I can ride in the evening. It is very well used, and it's not a secret that more people come from out of town than actually Northampton to use the trail because of the beauty of the trail. And as we all know, the trail has gone under some disrepair for years. But with that money, we would have a phenomenal start to get that trail done from end to end. Borough Manager Welsco assures that we can get that done. Am I correct, Borough Manager? Okay. So we have that added impetus and financing to make it happen. That grant is dedicated for that area. So it's not something that we're taking from another area. It was dedicated toward that, and we look to get that started as soon as possible. So thank you, Councilwoman Haldeman. It was a very good meeting. It opened up a lot of doors for what we can also do now at Canal Park. And I am also going to use just a portion of that to get an architectural drawing of the trailhead composition, so in the future I can go out and solicit the grants and everything that we need to make that happen, especially with the bridge coming through and working that area all the more. It's encouraging. I was out a few days ago when they started pouring the cement. Talked to the project manager again. We're going to do a hot dog day in the near future on Potsy's Doggy Day. Bring the borough crew in to talk to the people who are doing the bridge and get an idea of, you know, how things are moving and progressing in that manner. So it's going to be a big deal when that bridge is open. It's going to be beautiful. As you can see, they're rerouting Canal Street a little bit, And it's always exciting to drive by and watch the progress we have here as we do across town. We're looking for those trail improvements. We have the playground at 4th Street that's going to be brought in with the Cindy Miles Foundation, and more good things coming for this town. So we fix this quality of life for your neighborhood and for everybody in town, and we'll get it done. Let's do it. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
I have no comment tonight.
Thank you.
Can I just ask a
Attorney
question?
Stewart, I'll get back to you, Shit.
Judy,
you had a question.
can I ask the mayor a question about the trail?
Yes.
So I frequently use the on-ramp, I'll say, by Willie's Bait Shop
Yes.
over on Whitehall side.
Yes.
So the way the bridge is gonna be, is it gonna be more easy access to get across the street to that?
I was promised by Rick Mulchaney, who's supervising the bridge construction, he's with Lehigh County, that there will be a, let's put colossal pedestrian crossing for the trail, which means that they would like to do a brick inlay, lights flashing, big yellow sign or pavings to make sure that that is an accessible crossing
They're
for
not
the
going
bridge.
with a tunnel, like when they originally proposed, it was supposed to be like
They-
hockey is.
Yeah, they ran into problems with Willie's Bait Shop. I think Willie wanted $300,000 for that property, and they just wasn't part of the budget. Because it was supposed to go across, it was under the bridge and come out on the other side. That could be still a future expanse if we do well budget-wise, but for now, we're gonna have to cross, but it will be very well marked, nothing like we have now.
Okay, great.
Okay, very prominent and very safe. So,
Thanks.
sure, you're welcome.
I have no comment tonight.
No comment?
No comment.
Thank you. Attorney Stewart,
Yes, thank you. I just want to announce for the record that council met prior to this meeting and discussed legal matters and held an information session to discuss various and sundry borough matters. I also want to state that I will be commencing review of the 2 bids that were received for garbage and recycling and determining whether the bids are compliant and make a recommendation as to the lowest responsible bidder. And finally, I'd like to thank all of the residents who came out this evening. It's good to hear directly from you, and I really appreciate that, because that helps us to communicate with one another and to communicate with the DEP about these issues. So thank you very much for coming out.
thank you. Any other comments? Ms. Riegel?
Yes, I just wanted to know, as far as, are they having to pass, the zoning committee, are they having to pass a permit for them to be on that new property? And when is that going to take place, that decision?
Are you referring to what, for who? For Cat
Planning and
Glass?
zoning.
Yes.
Well, any future meetings regarding Cat Glass will have to be public hearings. As of right now, there's nothing set of what their projects are, their plans are.
There's no pending application.
There's no pending application for what Cat Glass is doing.
There's been no request of the borough for any kind of relief from Cat Glass.
Tonight's 799 Smith Lane application has nothing to do with Cat Glass. It's what, at the moment.
Was I wrong, or misunderstanding that they, in order to be on that different property now, they need to get a permit, because it's not zoned for,
Well, they already are on that property,
I know, but that's not zoned for that business.
Where they're currently at?
but they're already there.
They're there.
I know that, but it's not zoned for that business.
We're looking into what prior relief they were granted,
Yes.
and to determine whether or not they need additional zoning relief to do whatever it is they want to do. But at this point, we do not have an application, so we're just doing some background investigation to determine what relief was granted initially to allow operations as they are now, so that we can determine what they would need to do to be able to make any changes to their operations, if that makes sense.
Thank you. Moving on to announcements, I'll start with Mr. Sorensik.
I'll just, I appreciate everybody coming out here. This is the best place to come out in a public forum, to speak your concerns. I wish there was lots of things that we could do to help immediately, and we take it seriously. Brian and I, if you want to stop and just talk to us and see us and tell us what's going on, that door's open for us too. But we will do everything that we possibly can to help out for you guys. So I live in the town too. I lived here. I worked here for a long time, and I take it seriously. I know everybody up here does. So, as far as the garbage committee, we're going to talk about for the building. You know, I don't want to sound kind of pushy with this, but I know we need to do this like ASAP because it's going to be the end of the year before we know it. Getting these new fees and prices in. So as soon as we get an accepted bid, I know we need to get this meeting like as soon as possible. Get down, get to meet together, get these new
Send
prices.
some dates out, but I'd like to have it broken down by
Yes.
the bid and stuff like that.
We'll have to do it different ways. There's lots of different options.
There's a lot of different options depending on.
Well, the two ways that I would like to have it is, obviously, what we pay per quarter currently or per month, match it up against that, and then also what our residents pay per year, how much it's gonna go up and how much it's gonna affect, so that when we do decide to do it, we're voting on the reason that's gonna affect the people and the residents the most. Okay?
Absolutely. No, we'll discuss all that. We'll have have that broken down for those meetings. It's budget season coming up here. We're working on a lot of stuff with that too. So we need to, it's the extra sense of urgency to get these meetings as soon as possible. I know we got a lot going on. We have a lot of different committees. We're trying to meet up and get things together. So I'm gonna try to be a little pushy with trying to get some of these things together. I don't want to steal anything from Brian's gonna talk more about it, but the My Northampton app, I'm just gonna say, you get more detail about it. I'm just gonna bring it up, the citizen engagement, we have some new things on that app. I encourage people to download that app, and then I'll let Brian explain more on it.
Oh, thanks, Chair.
There you go.
First and foremost, thank you. I was over at the Sharkhazy House with our zoning officer a few days ago. Based on the phone call, we did meet with the DEP representative. We hear you. I don't want it to seem like we don't or that we're not doing anything. We are here, we are listening. I will reach out, most likely to you, Mike, to set up a meeting. And then if you would like to get another one or two people that would like to come. And then once I can get some dates from you and the group, what we'll do is then I will reach out to the 3 council members and then get dates, see if those will work. And then we'll figure out a time, ultimately, we can all get back. I will most likely reach out to you tomorrow or Monday with those times. And, I have your email already, so we'll be able to communicate on that. Like Jerry said, if anyone has any concerns, we are here. You can email us, you can call us, you can stop by the office. Open door policy. We will never turn someone away. The only reason we wouldn't be able to talk to you is if we were in a meeting already. If that was the case, we would obviously either have someone else that could talk to you or set up a time when we would be available. I want you to know that we are here, that we do hear you, and that we want to keep listening and hearing what you have to say. Whether that means you do send emails every day, multiple times a day, you make multiple phone calls, you stop by multiple times a day, whatever it takes. We want to be here to let you know that we are listening and that we are doing as much as we can. With that being said, Jerry was saying, another way we're trying to get community engagement, and tonight was a great way to see, obviously under not great circumstances, that the community is still active and involved and coming together. One of the things we're doing is right now, in the past, I should say, the way that a lot of citizen reports were done was they would just call the office or stop by the office. We would take a note down, we'd pass the note on to a bin for someone else to, whether department that you're going into. We have had in My Northampton app for about 1.5 years now. We've expanded on that recently with code and permitting with zoning, but we've also now put in another piece which is called citizen request. What that is now you don't really need to call anymore to the office or stop by. You can actually do it right from your phone or your computer. The computer part was still integrating with our website. The app part is already integrated as of yesterday and ready to go. So for those of you that do have the app, what we have is at the top you'll see it has a button that says start new request, and in there it breaks down literally everything. Some of them are just fact pages, so if you have a question about a permit, it tells you where to go. It links you to the page, or you can just call the number, or it tells you where to go to stop by. There are other parts where what you can do is, say hypothetically you see a pothole or there's a street sign down, you can go into the app and start a request, and there are broken down for each one of those street signs or street paving or any type of street issue. And you can literally take a picture of it and write a report. It will geolocate where you're at. It will then put it right to the correct department, in this case, Public Works. They will have a list. They can directly communicate with the person who has put in the request. So there's back and forth if they need more information. It's a great way to streamline the process, so there's not a huge delay. Obviously, they won't necessarily be checked on weekends. So if you submit a request on Saturday, you might not get a response back until Monday. As of now, it's 10 days to figure every request and to close out the issue. So just know it is a way for us to be able to respond to things quickly and easier for you, so you don't have to, oh, it's at 6 o'clock at night, I guess I'll either leave a message or wait until the morning. This way you can instantly report it if that is your choice. It also works for code complaints, so if a neighbor or someone has high grass or weeds, or has garbage out or things that shouldn't be out, so maybe garbage isn't collected till Friday, and you put it out, and they put it out on Tuesday, you can report that as well. There is a lot of different ways to do, and what we're also doing is compiling information, so if there's something that's not on there, we can always add it on later. It's not like we're beholden to what is there now. If something's not working or something needs more detail, we put that on there as well. Our goal is to make it easier for you to inform us on things to get done, and ultimately for things to get done quicker and better. So that way we can communicate also with you directly. So rather than if you leave a note with one of the secretaries and then it gets passed along the bin, maybe they don't get it that day or till the next day, then if they have no idea or they can't find the location, now you don't have to worry about the location because it's already given to us. And we can reach out to you directly. We don't need to call to find out your phone number or to find out an email. It's already there based on how much information you provide.
Handsome.
Yep. So
Very nice.
It's quick. I encourage you that if you don't have the app, it's a great way to get information in terms of this way to us, but also we do put posts out. It's like our own, dare I say, social media, but also a way that we can give you updates on things that are happening, detours, events, promotions, that type of thing, that it just allows communication to be streamlined. It's already active. We're just integrating with the website, so that way if you don't have the app, you can go online to do it. We're just integrating with the website. The hope is that if people need more information on how to get the app or how to use it, I already do actually have on the website how to download the app to get notifications. I'm also going to be updating it with a video on how to, probably on our YouTube channel as well and on the website, how to actively go through and do a request. So that way people that are not familiar with it, if you don't have the app, that's already on there, but if you don't know how to do this, or if you're struggling with it or have questions for it, I'm going to try to make it as straightforward as possible, so people can just pick it up, see how to do it, and then always have something to refer to if they have questions. But yeah, it's already active, so if you're on your way home tonight and see something, you can do it already.
You're gonna do a TikTok app for it?
Ken has ideas, Ron.
He probably does. I was talking to you though.
Yeah, if you want, we can start a Borough TikTok page.
No, we won't.
Tuesdays
No, we
with
won't.
Ron.
Sorry, I even said that.
Yeah.
Change the meeting.
Yeah, oh, yeah. The other thing is that for anyone that is interested, and for just general reminder, because of the Jack Frost Parade, the next council meeting is Wednesday the 15th. So if anyone in the audience would like to come back, or for council, it is the 15th. Even if there's a rain delay, it's still the 15th. Other than that, I don't have, that's it.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone else? Thank you. I need a motion to pay the bills.
Motion.
Motion made by Mr. Donahue. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Ms. Almond. Any questions?
Yes.
Go ahead.
A couple things. Before we get to the questions of that, I noticed that the rentals, saying that there's unknown registered rentals. Can you tell me what were registered last year and what's the number that is less this year?
Yeah, I can get you those numbers.
Okay, because it seems like we're still missing some, and I want to know how many people, our landlords, did not pay for their rentals. Okay. So according to the bills, Hafner and Sons, is that petroleum?
No, that is for drilling holes for the 329 project.
Lehigh Engineering, is
Yep.
that part of
That is stuff
But
that
that as well as,
Receivables.
it's receivable, so stuff that we're invoicing, we pay it, then we invoice the.
that's why I said, I did actually have that as receivable, so
Yep.
that's money coming back
Yep.
to us then, okay. So the Republic Services contracted this month was 88,000, that's
Yep.
what we paid per
Yeah,
month?
88, yeah, that's what we paid every month for the
Okay.
whole.
And let's see, I guess the waste management sludge removal was lower because of the amount of water that we pulled. Seemed like it was a little bit low this.
Yeah,
this month.
not as much rain.
Is that, E-Power, oh, that's part of the pension, isn't it?
Empower, yeah, that's part of it.
That's my last question, that's all I had. That's all I had.
I had no idea.
What?
I had none this time.
All right,
Got a short AP, so
Yeah.
the numbers there.
Surprised I'm still high.
Yeah.